There's a term I like to use called arm arrogance, right? There's only 3 or 4 guys that have it. Josh Allen has it. Back in his heyday, Aaron Rodgers had it. I mean, Tom Brady never had arm arrogance. Patrick Mahomes clearly has it. Caleb has arm arrogance. The undenying belief that no matter what, I can make this fucking throw. And for him to do that in back-to-back games was just insane.
And the thing is, and you're 100% right, and we can dive into the completion percentage, which needs to get a lot better. And I think if you dive even deeper into some of the hardcore analytics, it's even worse than just the 58%. But there's no question he can make some throws that nobody on the planet, or very few people on the planet, can make, as you described. There's no fear. And I don't think it's reckless, Ray. I really don't. Yeah. I think it's aggressive, but I think that he really removed that reckless behavior out of his game this year. And I think you saw it in the way that the sack totals came down. Like, he tried to do everything by himself in year one and was sacked 68 times. And I would argue that 60% of those sacks were on him. Now, the offense got significantly better this year, but he learned how to play. And if he hadn't learned how to play from the pocket, Ben was going to bench his ass, because Ben doesn't suffer any of that nonsense. I give Caleb a ton of credit for what he did. Now, look, 2 plays later, he's going to turn around and throw a 100-mile-an-hour heater at the shoes of a running back, and you ask yourself, how can you complete this ball, and then this one's way off target? Those are the ones that have to improve, and I think some of that can get better. But I don't think Caleb's ever – I don't think he's ever going to be a 70% completion guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. I think he's one of these guys that if you can get to 65 – and you marry that with his clutch gene and his ability to make the unthinkable throw, keep the sack total down, you're looking at a guy that's going to scare the hell out of the rest of the league for years to come. And I'll say this as well. I don't think there were ever any questions about Caleb's tangibles. But I think after last year, there were some questions, whether it was in the building or around the league or in football circles, about his intangibles. How much does he love it? Does losing hurt more than the joy of winning? Will he put all the time in? Will he be the first guy in and the last guy out? I got to tell you, whether it was what Ben Johnson required of him or Caleb doing it on his own, he answered all of those intangibles.
No question.
That's what's got me most confident about going forward. When you step into that huddle, as you know, and it's Joe Tooney and Drew Dahlman looking, across from you, they expect a certain amount of leadership and professionalism. And those guys were following him because that kid was a competitor and a half this year.